We have contenders and pretenders. Do you know off the top of your head?
Yeah, I'll start with I think, an interesting one, the Washington Capitals.
They are, fuck it, I'm buying in. They're contenders. They are going to go out and get some type of piece at the deadline.
They don't have
I
any
know
cap
how big-
space.
I don't care if they don't have cap space. Make cap space at this point. You know what?
Who's getting hurt for the team?
Hold on, actually. I have to pull up cap wages real quick.
Who has a high enough salary that isn't a big enough impact of a player where they could say, you're hurt, sit down for a couple of weeks?
Well, they actually have 3.8 in cap space. Thank you very much. They have
Is
a lot of
someone
cap
hurt
space.
right now?
Well, on LTIR, they have $16 million. They have
Well, it's
Backstrom,
Oshie
Oshie, and Milano.
Is Milano out for the year?
I don't know, actually. He's still on LTIR. I don't know. I mean,
know
he's only
O-
making 1.9.
I know Oshie and Backstrom are done, though.
Yeah, they're donezo. Andrew Mangiapane, you just broke your wrist. Call you Sean Monahan.
Pierre-Luc Dubois. Oh, my back.
PLT
oh,
8
my
point.
back. Oh.
PLD's going to, like, fake a fall into the corner. I'm out for the next 2 months. I can't wait until game 1.
I mean, we're just fucking around. The Capitals will not actually do that. Only Vegas
No.
does that.
Only Vegas. Who says that? Listen, I know that entire meme of Vegas doing that and stuff, but I think that Mark Stone is really hurt. It's. A nice
I
meme
agree
to
with
talk
you, but
about.
it is just convenient, though.
That it happened 3 straight years.
And then he's always back for game 1.
Yeah, it is. It is. People like to call it a coincidence, but it is kind of like sketchy. I mean, I get it.
I don't know. I think it's just a fun thing to poke at. Like the other thing with like the draft lottery being rigged when Chicago won the lottery
Yeah.
and caught at Bedard. But let's get back to the Capitals. So you think you're calling them contenders?
I am.
They're
You-
really. I still can't put a gauge on this team.
It's hard.
People are gonna call me
Tough.
idiot because like, well, they're competing for the President's Trophy. Like, how are they not contenders? And I agree with you. It's just I don't know, man. Like, I've seen them play in person. Like the Sabres beat them. Like.
It is tough with the Capitals because they just keep finding ways to win no matter what. And there's going to be two things. Either A, they're going to hang around.
I mean,
in
how
the
long is
playoffs.
Logan Thompson going to keep playing the way he has been?
He's been carrying low key. Him and Ovi's been carrying the team. And
Like,
Dylan
I'd
Strom's
be
been good.
interested to see like advanced analytics for this team, like just as a team as a whole, to see where they stand. Not things to see because there are like statistically teams that are lucky.
Let me. Well, I'm at Money Puck right now. Let me see. Do we have all situations? 24, 25.
But it is hard for me to call a team that could potentially win the President's Trophy, like not a contender.
I mean, I totally get that, but like I'm looking at some of their advanced analytics, like offensively wise, for example, like their expected goals percentage it's 9th. Their goals percentage in general is 2nd. So they are overperforming in that aspect. Can I get something to move over here? Thank you.
I'm really curious to see the expected goals against.
Hold on. Fuck this Google ad, bro. Holy shit. I just want to fucking slide over. Is it that hard? There we go. Thank you, guys. Sorry for that. Okay. So we're going to do expected goals and then expected goals against. So expected goals for, they are currently they're 6th in the league at 187.45. Expected goals against, they are 13th at 167.15.
What's their actual goals against?
Their actual goals against is 140. Expected goal, their actual goals for is 196.
So they're overperforming the analytics.
They are. Goals for above expected 8.55. Goals against above expected negative 30.15.
That's crazy.
Logan Thompson is saving their ass. I mean, he's playing great hockey, though.
Yeah, I
Don't
mean,
get
I
me
wouldn't
wrong.
say that they're getting lucky. I don't know. I feel like hockey is a sport though, where like luck is an aspect, like getting a bounce or something, because hockey's so unpredictable.
Yeah, true.
Because it's harder to get lucky in other sports like basketball or football, where it's more controlled. Because hockey is just all chaos all the time. Like, I would say hockey is one of the most chaotic sports. There's just always something crazy going on.
It is.
It's so fast and so easy to just make one little mistake and the puck's in your net.
It's sometimes too, like the bounces go your way, you can end up in the finals. Bounces don't go your way, like we saw last year with Carolina, for example, against the Rangers. The bounces just didn't fall their way. Granted, they ran into a hot goaltender in Igor Shesterkin, but still, though, like they just weren't able to get it done. And Washington's on the exact opposite side of the spectrum this season, where they're getting all the bounces, and like my argument with the Capitals, and somebody disagreed with me in the TikTok comment section when I posted one of our shorts, is I was like, do you really trust Ovi to go out there in a 7-game series and score 4 goals for you? Like we saw, like I get last year we saw him in the playoffs put up no shots, no goals.
I mean, that team had no business being there.
That's true, but like I'm looking at it now, like is the only reason that he is putting up these goals and actually trying is because he wants the record and
I
come
mean, I do
playoffs.
believe that Ovi will try in the playoffs.
I'm
I-
not saying that he's gonna sit here and just like lily. What is it like?
Lollygag?
Yeah, that.
Lily cat.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, the thing with the Capitals for me that's hard to gauge is like, I don't know if this is like a thing other people do, but like when I'm thinking about teams, like, can I mentally picture this team as it is right now, like winning the Stanley Cup? And honestly, I don't. I don't know if that's just because I still have that aspect of them from last year in my mind,
Yeah.
where like I saw them as a team like, okay, yeah, they got lucky, they shouldn't have made the playoffs, and then got annihilated by the Rangers. I mean, I know like the numbers don't lie; they're good. I just have a tough time seeing it. I definitely think they win a playoff round. Like they will definitely they're going to play a wild card team, most likely wild card 2, which is I think they'll win.
Probably they'll be playing either
But can
Ottawa.
they beat a team like New Jersey or Carolina in the second round? That is my biggest question for them. I think they
Ooh.
beat the Devils. I think Carolina will give them a really tough series. I know you're
Call
Mr.
me.
New Jersey Devils dude, so
No,
you're
no,
gonna
call
say
me. Call me crazy. I think that they can beat the Hurricanes. Realistically, I think they can beat the Devils. I think they can beat any team in the Metro. Like genuinely,
can they beat the Panthers?
I don't think so.
Can they beat the Maple Leafs?
I think there's only 2 teams that they can't be, and those are the 2 teams that you listed off. And I think Washington's the 3rd best team in the East. Is that crazy at all? Like,
I don't know why I'm so low on this team.
Do we see this team if they have to face? Let's say Tampa makes it to the Eastern Conference Finals. Is Washington going to beat them, or if they face in the playoffs?
I think Washington would beat Tampa Bay. Yeah, easily.
Even if it's the first round, too. If Tampa
Yeah.
falls down. Fair enough. Fair enough.
And,
So
like, I do agree with you. Like if it was like a conference final, it was Washington versus Florida or Toronto, I would pick Florida or Toronto to win that
me too.
series.
I agree. Holy shit, we agree for once in this episode.
Okay, so I picked one. You could pick a team that quiz me on.
Okay. We have the New Jersey Devils.
I knew you were gonna say them.
You want me to do somebody else? I wanted to do
No,
Florida
I-
or Toronto, but they're so obvious.
I
contenders.
don't. New Jersey's another tough team for me. It depends how good Jacob Markstrom is when he comes back from his injury.
Can I give you a different team instead?
Sure.
It'd be more challenging. Ottawa Senators.
They're not contenders.
Do you think it's that easy?
They're playoff contenders, but do you see them doing significant damage in the playoffs?
Possibility.
I think they could be a dark horse candidate to like have an upset in the first round, depending on who they play. Like I said earlier, I would love to see them play the Toronto Maple Leafs in the first round. I think that would be a big. That rivalry kind of needs to be reignited.
Mm-hmm.
I think Brady. I would love to see Brady Tkachuk in a playoff series. I think you would see another side of him that you haven't seen before.
I am praying to God we get a first round matchup of Ottawa and Florida.
That would be a lot of fun to watch.
Praying. You guys will see a 7.
I mean, I still take Leafs
stream.
in 6, but I think it'd be fun to watch.
Leafs in 6.
Yeah,
If they played Ottawa.
yeah. Unless Linus R. Mark plays like a god.
I think it'd be 6 or 7. I don't see Toronto necessarily dominating this series.
I think it would be close games. I don't
But-
think they sweep or
but
beat them in
Toronto
5.
also has a much better coach and a much better roster, and I think that their goaltending can get them by.
The Senators are playing with house money though. I got nothing to lose.
That's true. That's true. They could.
Because the beauty of when you've been kind of stuck in the mud for so long and you finally you'll get to the playoffs, like fuck it. We're here. Let's just have fun.
You know what?
And then next year, that's when the expectations start.
And then they'll crumble because that's what the Ottawa Senators do.
We'll see. I don't
Sorry,
know.
Sens fan.
We'll see. I mean, when was the last time they even made the playoffs?
2017 when
Yeah,
they lost in the Eastern Conference
That
Finals.
they had no business being in that series either.
And somehow they almost made it to the Cup final. They lost in overtime in Game 7.
I remember watching. Did you watch that game 7?
Yeah, I
remember,
did.
That shot Chris Kunitz had was perfect.
He could not have placed that.
I mean,
any
what a
better.
pass by Crosby though. I remember.
Crosby with the hell of a feed. Kunitz shot that at the perfect
It was like
time
he
at
put
the
like a
perfect
fucking
spot.
coin in like a coin slot. Like it was
Yes.
like Craig Anderson was like I don't know. That was
He didn't
perfect.
even move. Craig
But
Anderson didn't
It
even
went
move.
right over his shoulder, and I
Yes.
was like, "Yeah, I don't know how you stopped that. That
He
was
shot-
perfect.
he-
It was
he-
like a knuckle puck. He got down on one knee.
He held that for a split second, found the perfect screen in front of
It was a
Anderson. Shot it over.
perfectly placed shot.
Oh my God!
Could not get any more perfect than
And
that.
then the Penguins went on to win their second straight cup.
Yeah. But Ottawa, I think, would be a really fun team to watch in the playoffs. You know, I would kind of be bitter about them making the playoffs because, you know, they haven't been rebuilding for as long as the Sabres have, and they've
Yeah.
already finished their rebuild faster than the Sabres
To
have.
be honest, every team does at this rate.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't think Ottawa's like a serious contender for the cup. They're definitely playoff contenders. Like I think they will make the playoffs.
It's weird with the Eastern Conference because it feels like you look at the West, it's so top heavy, but you also look at the East, it's like you have Florida, Toronto, Washington, Carolina, New Jersey. Those are 5 teams that you can see. I know you said you can't picture Washington winning the cup. Can you picture Carolina or New Jersey winning the cup at all?
I could picture Carolina doing it.
Carolina. So we're looking right now at the top 3 teams, probably Florida, Toronto.
If I had to pick 3 teams in the Eastern Conference that I think could win the cup, it would be the Florida Panthers, Toronto Maple Leafs, and the Carolina Hurricanes.
You know what's crazy to me? I'm gonna have to stick with my guns and say New Jersey because
Like I said, New Jersey's a weird team to me.
they have to get hot.
They've been kind of all over the place this year. They'll have a stretch of games when they look amazing, and then they have another stretch of games where they can't score. And then Jacob Markstrom's out, and Jake Allen's been good enough, but he's not like a full-time starter. You know, if Jacob Markstrom comes back from his injury, maybe they make a move at the deadline. They always are pretty active in trade markets. Maybe they can make a run, but then they have to get through Washington and Carolina. And
Yeah,
you're
that's
looking
gonna
at
be
most
tough.
likely playing Carolina in the first round of the playoffs. That's a tough first round matchup.
You're gonna have to go through Carolina whether you have home ice or not. Right now it's up in the
And
air.
I think Carolina is a better team than New Jersey, and I think they will slow them down defensively.
Carolina is one of the most defensively structured teams in the league. We've seen it time and time again, and it's where in New Jersey's case, like I don't know if they potentially have the strong enough goaltending to be like, you know what, we can hold it down here and win 2-1 games. I also don't know if they have the discipline
They
to
played
do
each
that.
other in the playoffs a few years ago, but New Jersey's in a much different spot now than they were. That was kind of when they were the young and frisky Devils. It's like, oh my God, they beat the Rangers. Like, who saw that coming? But they were playing with freaking Vitek Vanacek and Akira Schmid, and they
Yeah.
had to start him in the second round. They were awful. And now you have a much better goaltending tandem, which I think will make a huge, huge difference, in this probably rematch we're going to get. Pending a Washington collapse or New Jersey and Carolina are probably playing in the first round.
They will play in the first round, barring any. I mean, yeah, no, they definitely are. I think that's set. I don't think neither team's catching up to Washington, and I don't think Columbus 8 points back with the Devils.
No,
for the
I
third
agree with
spot.
you. That might be like a lot. I think at that point they just may be playing for who has home ice.
Yeah, and
Which might make a difference because Carolina plays really well at home.
I think it makes a difference for both teams.
What's Carolina's record?
Carolina's
on the road.
On the road, they're 12, 13, and 1. At home, they're 21, 6, and 1.
Yeah, so Carolina, I think home ice is a big deal for them. They have a really rowdy building. I think home ice is a really big deal for them.
If the Devils snag home ice from Carolina, it will go 7 games. I think the Devils win that series tight. And if Carolina gets home ice, it's probably going to be the same thing except Carolina comes out on top. This could be one of those series where every single home team wins in that series, like genuinely.
Yeah,
But like New Jersey though, like they're 16, 11, and 2 on the road. They're 15, 9, and 4 at home, so they're more a balanced team. So I wonder if it means more for Carolina. It feels like definitely at least with their away and home splits.
the thing that would be really interesting to me to see for Carolina in the playoffs is see if they can steal the game on the road, especially I think if New Jersey gets home ice advantage in that playoff series and Carolina goes into games 1 or 2 and steals one of them, I think that bodes much better for the Hurricanes being able to have a deep playoff run. Because if they're going to need to rely on home ice for a playoff run, most likely you're not going to – okay, you get home ice against New Jersey. Let's say you beat them. Chances are you're probably going to play Washington in the second round, and
Yep.
you're not going to get home ice. Can you overcome that? Especially if they lose. Like if they beat the Devils in 7 and all 3 of their losses are on the road, I don't know if they can beat Washington then.
That's going to be rough for Carolina.
Yeah.
They have to learn how to win on the road
Mm-hmm.
and not rely on their home crowd. And that also bodes rough because Washington's a better team on the road than at home.
Mhm.
So if you're Carolina, let's say they get home ice, they get past New Jersey in the first round. Now you have to go to Washington. And if you don't steal a game in Washington, now you're going up. You're down 2-0 potentially, going back to Raleigh, North Carolina. You can find yourself down 3-1 going back to Washington. And then it's just barbecue chicken from there.
I mean, we've seen some pretty crazy stuff with the playoffs the last few years with 3-1 leads, but
I mean, if
never know.
if one team that can come back from it against Washington, Carolina can.
I mean, unless they get goalied again, that seems to happen to them every year.
I mean, Logan Thompson's playing phenomenal hockey, like we've said six
I mean, he's
million
not
times.
Igor Shesterkin, but
I mean, Igor, I think he just got hot at the right time last year, and just Carolina was a much better team last year, and I think
I hate Igor Shesterkin because he made me think the Rangers were way better than they were going to be.
the Rangers last year in the entire playoff round was like in the entire playoffs in general. He just his save percentage was like close to 930.
Yeah.
He was just playing out of his mind, and the Rangers just weren't playing.
He was playing at like a Conn Smythe level, like the whole playoffs.
If they went to the finals,
he would have won the Conn Smythe.
Yes.
Unless unless they played McDavid and McDavid had that historic performance.
And then it's whoever won that series would have gotten the Conn Smythe. Thank you for watching the entire video. If you guys would like more exclusive content, make sure to follow us over on Instagram, X, and TikTok. Also, check out our new episodes, which drop every single Sunday and Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Available to stream on all platforms.